Alright, well, I'll test the audio more later. If a lot of people are complaining about it or something, I will adjust it again. So we'll give it a few minutes, and then I'll check it again after. But for now, let's get to it. As you can see, I am not just playing a World of Warcraft Frost Mage. I am playing a Forsaken Frost Mage, and there's only one, acceptable place for Forsaken to start, and that's in a crypt. So that's where I'm starting out, because that's just the way the Forsaken go. And of course, I got my starting gear. But anyway, let's get this thing going officially. Get the recording going, and you gotta always count a few seconds before you actually start talking. Hey Fart fans, welcome back. Dave Sicily here, and once again, I am delving into Elden Ring with yet another World of Warcraft based build. This time, the Frost specialization mage. Okay, what's the main difference between a Frost mage and the other mage and the regular mage? Well, I mean, they're frosty. They're a whole lot frostier. They're a whole lot colder, and they like their icicles. Yeah, so this is a Frost build. There's a lot of Frost spells in Elden Ring. Maybe not as many as the arcane spells. I was actually surprised how many spells are in Elden Ring that are similar to the arcane specialization spells, but there's still a nice set of Frost spells too, and this is the one I was actually really looking forward to. Anyway, hope you'll have fun. If you do, be sure to like and subscribe and engage, as YouTube likes to say. Let's get started. Let's get farting, as I like to say nowadays. And as you can see, you know how a Forsaken starts, right? I'm not just playing any simple Frost Mage, I'm playing a Forsaken Mage. Actually, when I played a Mage in World of Warcraft, I played a Forsaken Mage. And in this case, actually no, not in this case, this is where we always start. They always start in the, the Undercroft? What was the name of the, I don't know, it's been for ages since I played. Never mind played World of Warcraft, but I actually created the character. I created my mage like a week after I first started playing World of Warcraft. We're talking like, not exactly first year, but like second year of World of Warcraft. This is like, oh my god, 20 years ago. Holy crap, I'm old. 20 years ago. Anyway, so yes, when you start a Forsaken, they start in a crypt. And just like in Elden Ring, you also start in a crypt, and I felt like that was the only proper way to start this run, in the crypt with my Forsaken. And as you can see, since there aren't no actual undead skins or like zombie-like skins in Elden Ring that you can pick in character creation, I did my best to still create my undeady type look. And as you can see, so I got the eyes, and if you make the nose, if you push it all the way back, it kind of looks like they've got no nose. I think I did a not half bad job getting a sort of undead skullish look, which is a little unusual for these. Actually, I think Agris is the only other character I created that looked really good. So I think he turned out really great. Even got the stupid long chin. Unfortunately, couldn't quite recreate the overall Forsaken World of Warcraft look. But then again, it's a very cartoony, goofy look. And when you get that chin and you get the really bulbous chin and widen it, for some strange reason that requires the lips to purse. And they couldn't quite get it to change for some reason. I don't know, the character creator was dead set on keeping his mouth pursed, but that's okay, you're not going to be seeing his face much anyway. And yes, as always, when you start as a Forsaken Mage, you start with your rags, your low-level rags. Now, of course, my staff is anything but low-level, but, well, that's neither here nor there. And yes, just like last time, whoop, this elevator's up. Just like last time, I'm going to start low with my lesser gear, my low-level gear, and I am going to add better armor. Well, okay, I already have all the armor. But I'm going to add to it as we continue along in our journey. So, let's get into the light and get going. There we are. We are now in the light. You can get a better view of what I'm going for. So let's just get to the first boss. I've actually prepped this one a bit this run, this time. And now let's get into actual build. We're just talking looks at the moment because I really like how this guy turned out. As for the actual build, once again, just as before, World of Warcraft mages absolutely pile on the intelligence. So once again, they have an almost unreasonable amount of intelligence. While, okay, so when you're a spellcaster, maybe not so much. A whole crap ton of mind, lower HP than I would like, and again, not necessarily the most optimized setup, because once again, World of Warcraft mages were... This is about recreating the character class from the game, so this is not necessarily your best setup for a mage. And of course, the lower HP, other stats are on the low side. We just pile everything into int, guys. That's how it worked. And oh yeah, now that I know about spellcasting speed, like, oh right, Elden Ring does have spellcasting speed, which was a more significant thing in World of Warcraft in Wrath of the Lich King. So that will be a concern. But first, you're gonna max out int and other stats before I start talking about that. And let's talk about our spells, shall we? Oh, I don't have the spell list. Anyway, we have Blizzard, which is not exactly the same as Blizzard from World of Warcraft, but, you know, it's the best I got. We have Freezing Orb, we have Frostbolt, and we have... No, that's a Slash. I forget what the spell is called, the World of Warcraft, but the close range, or it was like Cone of Cold, I think. This is the best I can do for doing Cone of Cold. It's a short range frosty ability that mostly serves to slow down and freeze people rather than actually do damage. And Hoarfrost Stomp is pretty good in that sense. Actually, no, this is not Hoarfrost Stomp. This is the Divine Wind Beast. I do actually have another option for... Let's see. Oh, I can't cast it. Oh, that's fine. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. I do have one of the Dragon Breath spells for a Cone of Cold, but I decided, like, there's a little different. Hoarfrost Stomp is a little too short range. Actually, no. That's about how short range, this is about how short range Cone of Cold was before you got a talent to increase the range, whereas the Dragon Breath spell, the Freezing Breath spell, which I can't seem to cast for some reason. I could have sworn I had... Oh, maybe my faith is too low, but that's fine. It's more long range, but it's not as wide. But I haven't really decided. There's a number of things I haven't quite decided yet. That's another thing about this build I have to, you know, come to a decision on before I get to focus on... before I really decide on how this is going to work. And yes, I know this is a spear. And I know mages did not wield the spear, but... that is going to be my Freezing Lance, or what was it called? The Icicle one. The quick short range one. That's the best you're going to do. Some of the good ice spells are also Ashes of War. So for me to complete the World of Warcraft Frost Mage setup, I do got to use some weapons that a mage wouldn't normally use. But again, what's more important? To recreating the whole feel of the character, or being perfect on the weapons. And it's not like I'm using weapons anyway. So it makes absolutely no difference. Frankly, the spear and the knives I have all do the exact same damage. And I'm not going to be in melee anyway. And once again, I do not have any summons. I know I got a guy here, but I'm not going to use him. We do... Frost Mages did actually have a summon. Okay, now let's just get going. Frost Mages did have a summon. They summoned a Frost Elemental. It was not really for tanking. It was just another, like... It was just a spell battery. It just cast spells. They weren't really strong necessarily. But it is a summon, and, you know, in Elden Ring, any summons is helpful, but there's nothing in Elden Ring that's like that. Not whatsoever. The closest thing I can think of is whatever the summon is, the guy who throws pots, and even throws freezing pots. That would be the closest thing I can think of to fighting like that elemental, and he doesn't even necessarily throw freezing pots. He just throws randomly, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to bother with him, or I haven't decided yet. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, let's just get to this. Again, I did not actually play a Frost Mage in, well, not until later, much later. Up until that point, I was playing Arcane. Oh, right, I should add, the rest of the build is really pretty obvious. Just charms, everything that increases spell power, shortens spellcast. Actually, I haven't decided on spellcasting time yet if I should stick with that. And I think my, oh, where did I put my, right, I put that here. I put the flask on the menu bar, short menu bar. Okay, let's start you off with the Freezing Orb. Wait, what hit me? Oh crap. This is not like World of Warcraft. It's not an instant cast. Icicle Lance, was it called? Oh right, I'm supposed to be using Blink. Unfortunately, this is a little tricky. Once again, as I've said before. Will that even reach him? It's really hard to use all these spells sometimes. So, yes, I know I'm dodging. I do not have my... Wait, do I have the right knife fit? No, I don't have it equipped. Well, that's okay. This guy is never... Morgott's never much of a challenge at this point in the game. He's down. There we go. We're moving on. See, I was looking forward to this one because of the frost damage. So I think this one's going to be much more amusing than the other builds. Well, Arcane... Actually, no. Arcane was kind of spammy. Oh, okay, this build's going to be kind of spammy, really. But I don't like how Arcane was really more... I didn't like casting Terra Firma or whatever it was called. That was a pain in the butt, that spell, to keep recasting. And I can never stand it in any way. Fire... Honestly, I still haven't decided yet if I'm going to do fire yet. I mean, I know I have it listed on the... I even made the thumbnail for it, but I'm still not so sure about it. What's actually going to determine whether I use... do the fire build... is... Yeah, I did open the gate. It's going to be when I do my Pyrodancer build, because that'll give me a good... I have to do a good rundown of all the fire spells anyway when I do that, and that'll give me a better idea what will work and what will not work. I'm going to do my little sound test now. So 1 sec. Okay, on that check, it almost sounded like it wasn't loud enough, so let's adjust that. Okay, that should help. Whoop. Run. Run, you. Oh, not you. I was looking at this. I was looking at my computer screen. 1 second. There we go. Okay, now we're all in sync. They're in sync too, apparently. Cool, this is gonna suck. I am not using... I should really put on my blink spell first before going here. Crap. Okay, where is that stupid thing? Yeah, this is the one thing that makes this little tricky. Wait, do I not have my blinker? Okay, so... Again... I know it's not, what's it called, the Miriam's Vanishing spell, but the Miriam's Vanishing spell does not properly replicate how Blink works. So I am not using it. Now I will put on my Mage Armor, which basically functions the same way as that's a buff, which is increase my damage resistance by roughly 20%, which is how the actual number is in World of Warcraft. If you have high-end gear and armor, and you cast Mage Armor, it will go up to like 20% reduction, and that's exactly where I am now with this. So that's a happy coincidence. I mean, it's not like, even though this is a faster version of Miriam's Vanishing, it's not like it's as... I don't have the range, it only goes a short way, so... And on one hand, it's a bit quicker, but on the other hand, it's shorter range. So it's not like I'm getting a huge benefit here from using it. But yeah, no, Blink... I know Miriam's Vanishing is functionally similar in concept, but the actual Blink spell, its utility is instant cast. You cast it and you instantly appear. And in Miriam's Vanishing, it was like... It was more like there'd be like a 1 or 2 second delay before it'd go off, and that was killing me. It's just not... It doesn't work. That's not how Blink works. It's instant. So without that similarity of function, it was just... It looks kind of similar, but functionally it was not similar. And that made all the difference in the world. So, thus Bloodhound Step, which actually acts much more similarly to how Blink would actually work. So that's why I'm using. And oh yeah, most importantly, I don't have to switch to a spell slot to cast it. I already have too many spells to worry about here. This is tricky. And you know, I'm going to get rid of Dragon Eyes. I think Divine Frost Stomp is much more along the lines of how Cone of Cold actually worked. So let's just get rid of it. This one, it's a little long range anyway, a little too long range. It's more focused. It's not bad in terms of damage and stuff. It's fine, but it's not really. I think the range is... Oh, and plus I have to deal with an incantation slot. So I already got too many things to think about. As it is, I'm juggling 4 different weapons and 3 different spells and 3 different afterwards between them. It's I gotta admit, usually for me, it's just like 1, 2. That's it. I got one spell, I got another spell. I press a switch button, it's either this weapon or either this spell or that weapon, or that's actually no, even this one or that weapon. Like one of the reasons why I liked Halo so much, you just had 2 weapons, and whichever weapon you weren't using, you were using the other one, and that's it. When you start dealing with more than that, it gets too complicated. Unless it's something like Borderlands, where up, left, down, right, you know, those are all weapons, and that I also can do just fine with, because every weapon is like a dedicated button. Okay, I don't think this will reach you. Oop, I should have switched. I should be blinking. I know, I'm just so used to dodging, I'll tell you. Oop. Oop, I gotta put on my mage armor. Yeah, I actually haven't played this yet. I mean, sure, I ran around and set up some boss location, and set up all the, oh yeah, this goes through the wind, even though, if anything is more likely to be blocked by that wind, it is a blast of cold air, more than an actual arrow. The arrow is more likely to go through. I mean, likely won't hit anything, but a blast of cold wind is just definitely going to be dissipated. But, don't, like, quote me on that. I don't want some meteorologist to suddenly come in here and be all like, no, I don't have any more. Crap. I really shouldn't turn this into a spam run. I mean, oh wow, that's like, okay then, I think all I have to do is poke. Poke. Yeah, right there. Right in the private parts. Time to loot the Shapoo! Or whatever the hell that thing was called. What's her name? The girl from... Oh god, the Crimson Crusade? Damn, what was the name of that? The level 40 dungeon, Crimson Crusade. As mages, we'd always want to do it, because you want to get the staff from the guy in the library section, and then you want to get the hat from the... Actually, I don't think the hat was necessary. Or was it more of a priest thing? I don't know, I just remember you'd want the hat. So, and this is kind of church-like, and, well, okay, he was too ugly to be that boss, but still, it works, so I'm going to loot my hat. Let's see, what is... There we go. I got my hat. I'm not gonna... I mean, I know technically this would look like the staff that you'd get there. Okay, maybe not that much. Oh, this one. No. Okay, well, I'll just stick with this one for now. And we are going to... By this point, by level 40... I mean, I know that's 2 bosses equivalent of level 40. What can I tell you? Elden Ring, right? We can upgrade my look a little. Look more like, let's see, I like, and see, let's see, just what some of the more early armor would look like. Yeah, that's sort of how you'd probably look like by level 20 or so. Yes, I know, I'm saying this is like the level 40 dungeon, but you know, just stick with it, okay? See, now I've got my chapeau, which is level 40, and for some reason I'm wearing level 20 gear, but, you know, it's not like that didn't happen. I have been I've had some crazy bad luck in World of Warcraft before, where I would have like I would be stuck with like level 20 gear all the way into the 40s. It has happened, you know. Alrighty, now let's just jump to this boss. Like I said, this time I'm set up at a lot of bosses. I don't have to be doing a lot of running around. And we got our favorite pal here doing unsuspecting friend. Let's give him the ultimate push, shall we? Well, wow, okay. He surprised us for once. Well, oh, okay. I mean, I guess it's about time he finally got one in, right? I mean, no one ever bats 1,000. So, he finally got one. Good for him. Wait, I don't have to do this, boss. Why am I doing this? I'm already halfway to the boss, so I might as well just finish it, even though this is going to be a cakewalk, frankly. So, since there's a lot of running around I don't have to do, I will try and do a few more bosses I wouldn't normally do, depending if they're in my way or whatever. You know, I'm not going to like go crazy to try to get her. I'm still not going to go after Rickard or something. Like I can't do Rickard with this build. Are you kidding? I mean, I can, but I'm just going to be swinging the stupid sword around, right? Like, and how magey is that? Yes, I could probably just resort to using frost spells, but that sounds scary. He has a lot of HP, and I don't think I have. I mean, he can take like 7,000 HP shots, something. I remember hitting him for like 7,000 HP damage, only like a quarter of his health bar or something. With that big sword, mind you, with the Serpent Hunter. So, I'd take me a lot. I'm not doing it, let's just put it this way. I mean, unless there are like a million people telling me to do it, that'd be a different story, but... Alright, so here's a fight I wasn't really planning on doing, but, you know, it's early on. Huh? Wait, isn't this usually not here? I don't know. I always use, a lot of time the walls don't show up until the boss appears, so. Whatever. So, Frost, oh god, you're right in my face. You're right in my face. Ah! Now, unfortunately, this doesn't have the range of Frostbolt. See, it's not very far, so that's one little problem. This spell is not very Frostbolt-like, because Frostbolt, well, it's not a very long-range spell, but it's longer than that. It's more like 35 yards once you have the specialization to increase the... Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Although it usually wasn't worth increasing the range on spells, but... Alright, I have a... Or at least I don't really understand what the value of was increasing range of spells, because as far as rage goes, you just want all the damage, and range is not going to do it. So when would you want bonus range? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm going to guess you'd want bonus range in World of Warcraft. When you're in PvP, maybe? And it is useful in PvE when you're just leveling up. See, Frost was probably the best leveling specialization in World of Warcraft. It didn't... Well, okay, it would have oomph. I shouldn't say it didn't have oomph. It was definitely plenty strong, especially if you're a mage. Any mage was quite powerful if they're well-leveled, but I think Fire had that little extra oomph to it, but, I mean, it didn't really matter if... Oh, shit, I did not level. That's right. I gotta talk to Melina. I gotta have her little meet and greet. Where are you? I can't level, that's right. I skipped that part. So I leveled as an arcane mage. I said this last time. Yes, Melina, come on, let's talk. Blah, blah, blah.
Have you heard they serve But you,
Oh, didn't even load in yet. Okay. No, she's not loading in. Good. That would have been awkward.
Treat him. Shall I let my hand?
Yes, we have... Oh, I actually don't have enough rooms. What do you know? Again, for anyone wondering, as you know, I don't do these things from level 1 because in a lot of the cases, I would have to be like most of the way through the game before I even finish the build. This is a particularly good example. I wouldn't even get a frost spell until like Liurnia. So yeah, this is a good example. I wouldn't even be able to cast frost spells for quite a while, so I wouldn't even need frost mage. I could probably, I don't know, if even, can you even get fireball spells? No, I don't think you can even get fireball spells early on. And even in World of Warcraft, I think you don't get your first, like, actual arcane spell. I think it's arcane missile until, well, maybe it's pretty early on, but even so, like, any and all the spells that would technically be arcane or World of Warcraft mage spells, I can't even use in the Elden Ring for the first little while, so... Oh, Spiral. Yeah, Spiral Shard. Yeah, that's a Wrath of the Lich King spell. So anyway, that's why I don't do this from level 1. There is a good reason. Okay, I'm a little thrown off. Right. And I got Nightface here. Okay, no wait, no I don't. Did I get this? Oh right, I didn't kill him to get the grace. I decided people would want to see that. So when is the... I actually should be able to do the Radahn now. Yes, very early to do the Radahn. I told you, I've set this up a little this time. So you don't have to spend so much time just running around. You know, actually fight bosses. I know, you want to see the spells being used in PvE and the regular areas and all that stuff. And that's the one downside of not starting from level 1. Because at level 1, I'd actually have to fight through the dungeons. But... well, no one has said anything otherwise yet. So, this is how I'm doing it.
The stars have aligned. The festival is nigh. General, are you good? The festival. Before we begin. But now.
Now, I know last time I summoned people so quickly that I didn't even get it. Like, I was so attuned, like, I've been so used to summoning people at the beginning of the fight that I forgot, oop, maybe I should try fighting Radahn without anyone. So this time, I'm not going to summon anyone. At first, anyway. I don't get stuck on him. I shouldn't get stuck on him. He's a big target, and, well, you know, Elden Ring spells don't actually, they don't slow people down. Like, then again, they didn't slow bosses down in World of Warcraft either. But it shouldn't be too hard, even by myself. Okay, arcane armor. Oh right, I forgot I need more buffs because even frost mages, they had a lot of buffs. Now, it's not like arcane. Arcane was usually just more straight damage buffs. Frost mages, though, it was more speed, cast speed. And I don't think there's any, like, casting speed buff in the game. Like, not like it just you have a consumable and you can casting speeds. Ship. Ooh, this is going to really mess me up later. Yeet. I am definitely going to need... No! Why am I using... What? That is not the spell I want. Yeah, this is the problem with having so many different weapons and spells covering. You gotta go through everything. So when I just wanna use one ability, it can be tricky to switch between them. Yes, I know, Blink, you weren't able to use it over and over again like that, but what can I tell you? Okay, let's see if I can reset Frostbite, because I've heard that's a big deal. Oh crap, I'm not making my dodge. Okay, let's do Dark Moon. I'm too afraid to cast Blizzard. I know it's Ice Storm is not the same as Blizzard. The functionality is very, very different. But it's literally called Ice Storm, so it's my best top. It's my best bet for using a ability that stands in for Ice Storm. Die, die, die. Shit, 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 shit. No, 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 no. Come on, finish him off. Oh crap, how did I survive that? I shouldn't have survived that. I took all 3 of the balls. Okay, whatever. Lower level. Gotta remember, it's a lower level. Now we're going to see our Starfall. Yay, cutscene, which we're not going to watch because we all know how it goes. And now we get all the way up to Landel. Already up to Landel. So the idea is all fire damage resets frostbite. So what's the value of that? Now, I don't actually know specifically. I've only known that some people seem very enthusiastic about pointing out how it resets it. Now, I'm going to assume it's because if you reset frostbite, you can trigger frostbite again, and you get your big 7% HP damage bonus. Once again, we always put everything into int because that's how World of Warcraft mages roll. It's all int for while you're leveling up. So I'm going to be doing the same thing here. All into int, all into mind, and when those are maxed out, then I can start putting points elsewhere, which is very inefficient, but that's just how World of Warcraft worked. And casting speed was not a thing until Wrath of the Lich King. If it was in the earlier expansion, I did not see it. I don't know, I never saw it. But it was only a real stat that you could actually add, spell haste, was in Wrath of the Lich King. If it was any earlier, news to me. Now I know we've already changed all our look. We went away from the noob gear, but you know, getting a little higher. Actually, you know what? Maybe I won't change it now. We'll wait until it actually move through Lendl, because Lendl would definitely be a place. If it were a dungeon in World of Warcraft, it'd probably have actually it'd be more like a raid, probably. You know, it'd be like Stratholme. How would we put it that way? Not in terms of feel, or actually maybe it is in terms of feel if you think about it. No, but in terms of being a city dungeon with multiple possible wings, even though, don't shoot me in the back, don't shoot me in the butt. Doesn't technically have wings, but different avenues. Like Glendale is has all sorts of different avenues. Like literally, well, not actually no, literally, but also like you can literally go into a whole different stratum by going underground. You go up into the towers, into the cathedrals. You can go in the city. So. Whoop. Okay, what was I saying before? Right, frost. So I'm assuming the value of resetting frostbite is that you can trigger it again. But I've never actually experimented it. So will you stop chain casting? I can chain cast too, you know. Shoot. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those nights where I can't avoid anything again, isn't it? Or I can't dodge. Okay, well, whatever. He's still a lower level enemy, so this would not be very impressive anyway. But we're rapidly getting up there. So if this were World of Warcraft, this would be equivalent, I've said this already. This would be like level, you know, I was saying like level 20s gear, but honestly, I think I remember seeing stuff that looked like this at like, in the teens. There was always a cape that would be like ratty and torn, and your shoes and your gloves would basically just be Actually, these look more like wraps. I should have something better than wraps. Oh, they are literally wraps. I should at least have regular shoes by now. It's more like level 30s when they would look like real leather glove or leather shoes or something. Let's go a little aristocrat. Well, that's more high end, isn't it? Yeah, but they look really beaten up. Yeah, that works. More int that I don't really need, but, well, what can I say? That's what you did in World of Warcraft, just stacked int over and over again. Just in case you've forgotten that since the last time I said it. Honestly, these aren't necessarily even the best frost spells you can use. I think the sword, the one that's the big great sword, and maybe some other spells are probably better frost spells. Although Ranni's orb is way better than the regular orb. I haven't really, like I said last time, I hadn't actually played any kind of mage build. I haven't played any kind of mage build in Souls since the first Souls game. I mean, honestly, I could do this whole round of build stuff in Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, right? And I'd still have plenty to do because I'd never done any of those kind of builds in Dark Souls 2 or 3. I only ever did my good old sword and board build and a level 1 build, and I didn't even finish the level 1 for Dark Souls 3. I never got beyond Midir. Not because I gave up, but because just other games came along and just sort of fell off my plate.
My utmost for bringing me here, and thus I shall farewell. I shall leave. I wish you luck. You have. I have no.
So right now, as it stands, I only really know the arcane mage build. So I know those spells, and as far as frost spells are concerned, I don't really know any of them. I just know what I went through when I was researching it, and Ranni's orb is apparently a good spell. That great sword, I don't know, not carrying slicer, whichever one is for frost sword, that one's apparently really good because of the huge range on it. Whoop. And you know what? I can't remember if they necessarily. Oh, where am I going? I never know if you go this way. I've been playing Assassin's Creed lately. A whole lot recently, so yay. So this isn't just a random thing I got to do. I have actually been playing Assassin's Creed quite a bit. A lot of roof hopping. Assassin's Creed 2, by the way, not the newer ones. I don't like the newer ones. Okay, I liked Origins. But after that, I started feeling a little repetitive. Although I did kind of want to... I was really hoping Mirage would be cool, because it was a return to the old formula. But unfortunately, the return to the old formula also meant a return to stealth-heavy gameplay. Even though you didn't really have to do... You didn't really have to do a lot of stealth in... well, okay, the first Assassin's Creed. Not so much in the second one. You could just fight your way through if you wanted, but they definitely went back to the heaviest stealth gameplay in Mirage. And I don't like stealth games. I don't know what to tell you. I just do not like stealth, so... And apparently a lot of people didn't like Mirage anyway. But I was looking forward to the educational mode. I actually find that fun. Learning is fun! So I was actually looking forward to that, but apparently it was not... I don't know, there was something wrong with it. So I never got the chance to try it. I'm pretty sure it got an education mode. It was one of them. I think it was only the second one that got one. I think there's supposed to be a third one, but then they canceled plans for it or something. I don't know. I don't exactly follow Assassin's Creed news religiously or anything. Whee! You know what? I just had an idea for a new build. I was just thinking Loretta's bow, the bow build. There's all sorts of like fantasy anime characters out there that have builds where they create big anime bows and magic bows and they shoot off like that. Although I can't think of... I mean, I can think of the animes and also the ones that do it. I just can't remember the actual character. It's actually a really common thing that there's always one character who has a bow. They can fire off a big bow laser sort of spell. So Loretta's bow spell, that'd be perfect for it. Just a reminder, I got... Oh, you can't see his glowing eyes in this light. No, that doesn't help. Anyway, that's the closest I could get to creating Forsaken, because there is no actual... I can't actually give myself bone arms, and before anyone says the Royal Remains armor, it's armor. I'd be wearing armor. So no, I can't do that. However, there were plenty of Forsaken skins that would still have their meat. You know, they wouldn't just be like exposed bones and all that, and they wouldn't necessarily have their jaws hanging off. Or even, I think you'd have one face where there was no jaw entirely, it was just their tongue. Which I think they actually removed that one later on, because I do know in the beginning there was definitely one like that. But I don't remember seeing it the last time I played World of Warcraft, so maybe they removed it because it's a little gruesome. I'll have good light to show up more things when I get up here. I hate fighting this guy. I cannot use... No, I actually need a Bloodhound Step for this. Maybe I can get an Ice Storm off. No. Oh shit, he can come in here if I don't start quickly. No, there is no charging. I'm sure some people say, why don't you charge a spell? Why don't you charge a spell? Well, you couldn't charge spells in World of Warcraft, so... I can't charge spells here. Ooh, I interrupted the spell with Bloodhound Step. I didn't know you could do that. Ooh, 2 in a row. I mean, I missed the spell, but still, cool. Yeah, Blink's awesome when you can spam it. Who knew? Come on, let me cast. I don't know, this guy's so in my face. I don't know if I can use any other spells. Unfortunately, there's only so much I can do with this build. I can get all... Well, okay, I don't have all the spells. See? You just push your nose in enough, kind of looks like you've got like a missing nose. So there are some spells I definitely do not have. There is no Frost Nova. There's nothing in Elden Ring that's like Frost Nova. I can't do this spell where you freeze yourself and you give yourself the frozen armor, which is extremely useful. A lot of those secondary protective spells, so I got my mage armor, but like frost armor and those armors, no, I not really. I mean, I can use consumables that are sort of like that, but it's not really worth the effort. And they don't make a big enough difference to be worth the to bother with it. What else? I wish I had Frostbeam. I would love to have Frostbeam. It's actually in Diablo. But no, there is nothing like Frostbeam. Yes, there is a beam spell, a Comet Beam, but it's not a Frostbeam. So I can't use that. There are actually a few spells later. If it's one of those secondary spells that weren't really like major spells, but they're like talent spells, then I kind of avoid them here. That said, I'm using Frost Orb, but they did make Frost Orb, or Orb of Frost. I think they made it like a core spell later on in one of the later expansions. Because I remember it being more of a secondary spell you had to choose, but I then saw it as a core spell later on, so that's not going to hit her. Crapola. You know what? I better... Oh no, don't cast this. Crap. I'd rather hit the Grace first. She's really fast. Oh wait, I have an idea. Wahahaha, you're stupid. That is one thing you could do with mages. I mean, World of Warcraft or anywhere. Take advantage of your terrain. What is this anyway? Oh, right. Yeah, I can't use that. Maybe for the World of Warcraft Priest build. Yes, there is going to be a World of Warcraft Priest. But there's only going to be one World of Warcraft piece. I'm not going to do all the 3 specializations. There's no point. There is not enough spells in Elden Ring similar to Shadow spells. There's like no actual dot spells. There's one. But, you know, there's not like multiple. And there's no raise. There's none of that stuff. And Holy is just healing. So it's basically just going to be like a sort of just priest holy discipline mashup. All because of one spell. Okay then, we are on the big... Okay, he's not that big. Morgott. Morgott? Morgott. Morgott? I don't know, I always get those two mixed up. Morgott, okay. Good, you're gonna let me just buff away. That's, you don't like me. Well, and again, when he hits that hard. Yeah, that was a mistake. Good. Stand there while I spam away. Okay, well, this is kind of cowardly doing this, but if you're just going to stand there, and I can just stand here and cast spells, I'm going to do it. What did I say? He was just standing in one spot. Am I supposed to just not spam spells on him? I mean, that's more World of Warcraft Magey than, than anything else. The guy's, oh, I'm going into my super phase 2 mode, and I'll just stand here and keep casting spells. I mean, what do you know? That's World of Warcraft. Nobody's home, so we're moving on. What are other spells that were not in Elden Ring? So, I liked Frostbeam. There were actually a bunch that I never even knew existed. So they must have been added later or something. There were a few I didn't recognize at all. And unfortunately, one of the core spells...
Hello again. Allow me. You
okay,
the thorn. A husk, the only way
yeah, we're not done yet. I know, I get it.
The flame then and guide.
So there's no Icy Veins spell, unfortunately. I can increase my spell power, but increase my spell haste, no, that's not an option. If anyone knows an option, then... And I don't mean like a talisman, I mean like a spell buff. Because I'm pretty sure Frost Mage buffs were not just raw power. They were more like speed and precision and things along those lines. Rather than... With Arcane, there was a lot of like raw power buffs. So I could use all the different raw power buffs and be like, oh, no, that's fair. That's what they did. But not... That's pretty early. Maybe I got time to beat... Actually, you know what? There are better versions of this guy, so I'm not going to fight him. There's plenty of higher level versions. Oh. No, I'm not going to fight Rolana this time. You saw what happened last time. She takes no damage from magic. For magic damage. That I had to switch to fire spells just to do some damage to her. Now, I'll totally fight this guy when I have Fire Mage. But, you know, not yet. So we are moving into Halloween. Now in Canada, we don't really think about Halloween until after Thanksgiving, which FYI comes before Halloween here. So until the 14th, we are thinking turkey. Or just, you know, orange leaves and everything, whatever. It's a whole thing. But we don't really do Halloween quite until then, but I will still discuss the Halloween schedule. In fact, I think I'll be starting that night, on the night of Thanksgiving. Well, okay, the night of Thanksgiving is actually like the Monday or something. But I will be starting with one of the Halloween builds. Well, before then, we'll do Pyrodancer and then World of Warcraft Fire Mage. So the next few, so the Halloween builds are going to be Tonberry, Sister Friede, or Grim Reaper, one or the other. But I think Sister Friede will be more fun than Grim Reaper, because all I got for Grim Reaper is just, you know, guy with a scythe and maybe some Black Flame spells, whereas Sister Friede has a whole lot of Black Flame spells and the scythe, and she has a whole Frost set as well, and Invisibility, even though Invisibility is... I mean, it's in Elden Ring, but it's useless in PvE, so it's not an option. Actually, she even has a Blood... Where are you? Bloodhound Step. She actually uses Bloodhound Step. A variant of it. Hey, I don't want to fight you guys. You guys are useless. I really don't want the... I don't want the horse's ass to be in the camera. No! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! That's a very disturbing shot! No! No! We do not want to see the inside of his ass. Of a horse's ass. It's fun. It was funny at first, but now it just gets kind of disturbing. So Sister Friede, and then I'm shooting to do Slasher Flick on Halloween night, which is Friday night this year. So the couple days afterwards, that means the rest of the... Well, maybe not the rest. Maybe I'll just do it on Friday night and do something else on the weekend after that. Because all Slasher Flick is just killing NPCs. So maybe I only really need one night for that. I'll have to think of something else for that. Someone did have a cool build. Someone suggested one the other day. They suggested a bunch of builds, but the one I sort of got more interested in was the skeleton build, which is just all things skeleton. You know, you use skeleton bones, skeleton arrows, skeleton weapons. Like if it's a skeleton, you use it. You got the Royal Remains armor, which is very skelly. All this, and I've actually discovered there's a surprising number of options for doing that. Most interesting, which being I forget what it's called. But there's a dual wield weapon, a dual weapon that's just a pair of bones, and one of its special attack is the life steal, right? Like the Abyss, what were they called from the first Dark Souls? The Abyss guys, right? Or the Dark? Oh, they were in the third Dark Souls too. Now I'm not trying to recreate one of those guys, even though you totally could, right? But they do have that life steal ability, and it does work on more. And I don't think it works on any bosses. But it does work on more enemies than you think, so I think that kind of works with it. As for other ideas, I don't know what could work with it, but I will definitely be looking out. There's quite a few options. I was surprised. Maybe I'll do that for the rest of the weekend after, because now that I think about it, I really don't think... Hello! I'm so used to just running by you. Should I bother fighting you? I don't know. I don't know. I've gotten so used to running by this guy. You know what? I'm skipping a lot of bosses tonight, so why not? Okay, no, I'm not skipping bosses. I'm avoiding a lot of running around that I usually don't have to do. Or I usually have to do in these runs, so... I got time. Ooh, see, that's definitely... Oh, shit. Damn, you're too fast for that. I absolutely missed the button just then. No, I didn't want to cast that spell just then. Oh right, I forgot to get my new armor. I mean, after killing Morgott, going through what I was saying was like a raid-like dungeon, I should have definitely gotten some better armor. Or in this case, something better looking. Oh, are you kidding? Ah, poo. I was focusing on thinking. It sucks to have low HP and low armor. Okay, let's concentrate more. Actually, no, I should get my new armor. So, after going through Lendl, which would be like a Stratholme level raid dungeon, let's get some better looking gear, shall we? What did I have before? That looks more of a late level gear. What about hands? That definitely looks like something we'd be using at a higher level. Boots, honestly, you're not really even going to see the boots, so I'm not going to bother with the boots. What about the hat? What about the hat? What's going to look better? If I were a warlock, it'd be something like this. What is a more higher level looking thing for like something to be like level 50, 60-ish? What would work? Oh, maybe this. Yeah, that works. And I'm blue. Frosty blue. Okay, why is it always dark here? Maybe on other people's... Oh, good. Maybe on others' computers or monitors it looks bright, but on mine everything gets so dark. And I've increased the brightness rating. Wait. Are you not going to come down? Are you not going to come down? Okay, well, if you're not going to show up, there we go. And he's all the way over there. Whoops, I didn't mean to cast that again. Very impressive. Have some frost. Okay, why didn't that go up? I pressed Bloodhound and it didn't go off. Yay, frost damage rocks. Because of that frostbite. Awesome. Okay, let's get my recording going. Start a new recording. There we go. Now I gotta do some running around. I could only go so far before I had to stop running around. So we just jumped from level 1 to 60 in World of Warcraft in about... Well, maybe I shouldn't say 60 quite yet, because I'd say the final areas here would be more level 60-ish. Actually, maybe all the way up to the Elden Beast should be level 60-ish. But I don't expect to really... Because the armor I had in mind for later, for the DLC, looks much better than this, so... I think this is going to be it for now. So I'm not going to make any more adjustments to armor from here. But I think this look is plenty late World of Warcraft-ish. I don't know if they ever had a, like, you know, there's so much armor in World of Warcraft, I'm sure at some... I should have rested that, that's stupid. Grace. Ah! You missed me. Like World of Warcraft, there's someone chasing me. Now, if this were like World of Warcraft, he'd hit me one more time, no matter how far away I am from him, and then disengage. Oh, I can just use a potion. That's right, I actually have magic potions. Flask. I'll never remember to say flask instead of potion. I don't know why. I have no problem doing it off air. But when I'm streaming, for some reason I keep calling them potions. I don't know why. I can't stop. Alright, now if I get through this really early, let's see, what can I do? It takes a while to get to like Millennia and Moog and all. Well, unless I make the skip. But it takes a while to get to them, so I probably won't be able to do them tonight. But there should be some other bosses I do, because of the way I started, I set up a lot of the graces. So I saved off a good bit of time. Maybe a Stell. Actually, I haven't done a Stell for a while. Even though he's a late game... Well, he's not a late game boss, but there's a late game version. So he's fair game. What else would be... good. Something out in the world. Maybe a dragon or... Oh, the frost... I can't fight the frost dragon with this build. No way. He's a pain. It's like... I'm surprised of all the... Okay, well, Bale's a bit of a pain in the butt, but I find this guy up here, the frost dragon, up on the lake, more harder than any other dragon aside from Bale. And even Bale sometimes is really easy. That frost dragon always kills me. A few times. But there's no way this will work. And I'm not going to switch to fire again. Nah, I've got like half the amount of runes I would spend. I'd love to have more runes. Like if I were higher, I definitely want to spend them, but this is only half as much. It's just low enough that I'm like, eh. Well, it's hard to be excited about spending runes without you're putting everything into one stat. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can do the skip. Because if I can do it, I can actually probably get to someone like Moog tonight. I don't know about Millennia. Because Millennia would be a good little run. I am not going to be like with Arcane Mage where I stubbornly try and beat like the really fast and spongy bosses and not summon anything. Oh, but I don't have any summons set up. Oh, that can be tricky. I'll have to use something. Okay, here we go. And a 1, and a 2, and a... Whee! That was too early. Shit, this is not going to work. Damn. Again, you're supposed to jump to the left. But for sometimes when you do that, she just jumps down. Or the character will jump downwards instead of to the left. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. Oh well. Maybe next time. You'd think I'd feel comfortable in a frosty area like this, but I don't. I genuinely do not like this area. I mean, I don't mean in terms of how it looks or anything like that. That's fine, but actually, I think a lot of people don't like this area. The density of content that was in the beginning of the game is pretty much gone by this point. Although, honestly, the density in the early game, as great as it is a little unnecessary, honestly. It's great, though. It's great. I'm not going to say it was not great. It was awesome having that amount of density, but so much of it is just... I don't know, you level so slowly during those early areas that it gets a little repetitive, whereas later on, sure, there aren't nearly as many areas and it's not nearly so dense, but everything you find in the late areas is usually like, I won't say a game changer, but something, the random stuff you'll come across in these, at this point in the game, is way more significant. So the side quests, little side dungeons end up feeling more worth the time. But that's just me, so maybe other people disagree. Maybe they prefer the extremely dense areas full of exploration in the early game, but so much of the stuff in those areas is not even worth the effort, so... Oh crap. No, I can't fight you. I probably do absolutely no damage whatsoever against you. Not with this build. Maybe with the Fire Mage. Now, technically, if you really think about it, something that was heavy on fire should actually be strong against frost, right? And not, well, okay, something that's frosty should also be strong against frost. But I'm saying a very hot body will not be as affected by frosty attack. I rode right into your face. I should have went up and over the side of this ridge. So after World of Warcraft Priest, which I haven't decided when I'm going to do that yet, and maybe Shaman, World of Warcraft Shaman, I have a sort of setup for Elemental and Enhance, although Enhance could be a bit of a nightmare because it'll have a lot of like consumables and different weapon types, and I mean I already go nuts trying to use all these, just a few weapons. I can't imagine having like 6 different weapons to try and cover all the spells, but after that I'm not so sure about any more World of Warcraft classes. I tried looking into like the Demon Hunter because you can dual wield dual blades in Elden Ring, but all their abilities they're so focused on mobility, I just don't... There's just not enough abilities in Elden Ring that even come close to matching every possible setup for a Demon Hunter. And then those new ones, the dragon, whatever, the new dragon class, same idea, a lot... I mean, I could turn into a dragon, you do have that ability, but aside from that, all their abilities are like very mobile, there's so many different ones, I don't think I can really recreate it too well. And plus, I've just flat out never played the class, so I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to do with that. But I do have the ability to put on a dragon costume. So, nah. One key part about that class is they can actually fly and like bomb, do like bombing runs, sort of. And you can't do that in Elden Ring. Monks, I know there are like monk abilities in Elden Ring, but there's way more to monks than just punching and kicking. and that's absolutely not in Elden Ring. That's one of these cases where the mechanics, play more than the actual abilities. Like the Windwalkers, they have that crazy ability where they can enhance their damage by consuming. It's like a mechanic. And early on, when they were first introduced, they were really cool that way, but they nerfed it to hell afterwards, and they changed them to play more like a rogue, and I don't like how rogues played in World of Warcraft. And you can't throw like a big barrel, so no monks. Hunter, I did Hunter. And Warriors, World of Warcraft Warrior, I don't think there's enough there, really. They have too many little abilities, and they're not all that exciting. I just basically be constantly switching between various sword slashy abilities in Elden Ring. I didn't. It felt like there was not enough there. Okay, so let's get buffed. How is this one going to work? Yay! Come on, get up. There we go. Ooh, one shot. No, stop moving. Oh crap, here's that stupid fireball. That always gets in the way. Oh crap, oh crap. Ooh, I should have put on some fire resistance before I started this. Or cast Fire Shield. But I don't have Fire Shield. Oh, I charged that. I didn't mean to charge that. Yeah, you remember the World of Warcraft Death Knight? Yep, spammy, spammy. Ooh. That one shot me. Crap. Okay, looks like I'm gonna need some fire resistance. Okay, so we can give up some casting speed for fire resistance. But until I got messed up, until I got crushed by his fiery balls, haha, I was doing 14,000 damage. Okay, it was sustained damage, but still. Not a problem. Shouldn't be like last time. How did Arcane Mage? I don't remember how Arcane Mage went. This guy. I don't think it went too bad. Why are you waving? Who told you to wave? No, enter. What, is the boss not ready? You can't come in yet. Shit. God, that's impossible to avoid. I mean, it's not impossible to avoid, but it's so tricky. Very inconsistent. That should one-shot you. Or not one-shot you, but one-shot you. Of course, you are all over here. Kind of go off. Oh, that stupid spell again. Now, I'm not sure yet if they should necessarily be within the rules to reset Frostbite by throwing the fire pots. I mean, it's not like I can't use. There's nothing really in the rules that's preventing me from. Oh shit. From using fire spell. I mean, technically any mage can use a fire spell. But the whole resetting Frostbite thing seems like it's a little crap. Well, actually kind of saved me by rolling away there. Near you, so it should be okay. And that, and you hit a tree. And now you're just running away and get back here. Holy cow, you are playing smart tonight. Stay away from the mage! Ooh, this is a good spot. Oh, I'd like to have seen how that would have worked out. Will you get back here? Oh crap, there's your stupid fiery balls again, going right through your ass. Because of course they can. Whoa. Oh, wow, good. I guess the animation gave me some sort of invisibility or something. Okay, this is going to be a problem if I can't get a frostbite to go off. Well, that was shit. I was admiring the fact that the Frost Orb will actually negate other spells if it hits him. Which it did. It negated the Frost Orb. But then I got hit, and suddenly, believe it or not, I was actually trying to move Torrent around, but I couldn't move. For some reason, he was sort of stuck in some weird twisty animation just then. So I shouldn't have gotten hit by the second... I don't know, I couldn't move. So that was some bullshit right there. Good lord, he was running away like crazy. Like, man, he was doing everything he can to get away from me. I mean, smart, but still. This better not become a problem. I got a lot of spare time tonight because I was positioned outside so many different boss areas. So I don't want to blow it all here. I can't remember. Did I have a problem with him with Arcane Mage? Lord, this guy refuses to let me go near him tonight. Okay, that was a lot of spam rolling just then. What was I supposed to do? Oh, that fireball still. Of course it is. Well, I am glad oh, mage armor's not on. I survived that. Oh, I charged that again. Sorry. As I said, I'm still not sure if it should be legal for me to cancel Ice Storm, or cancel Frostbite. Because that's a thing in Elden Ring, but it's not a thing in World of Warcraft, so I'm not sure if it should be legal or not here. Did I stagger him or something? I think I did when I hit him in the eye. But I couldn't tell. Bastard. Oh, they're almost dead. Okay. Okay, one cheap shot earlier. Not a cheap shot. I got, for some reason, it's got stuck. Sometimes that'll happen with torrents. Sometimes it'll just be like, you'll try and turn left and right, but so instead of just going left and right, you'll go like like that. And when you get stuck in this animation, and you're trying to move left and right, you can't. That's it. He has to complete the animation, so he can't move again. So, and then of course he gets hit and he gets stunned, and you just get stuck. And then the first one, well, whatever. It happens, but it didn't take that long, so we're good. Oh, what was I saying before? I was talking about other World of Warcraft classes I can do. I'm not sure of... Druid, can't do Druid. The only Druid build you can possibly do is Arcane, I think they were called. Maybe not Arcane. I don't know. Balanced Druids. And that's basically just spamming spells. And yes, I do have HOTS, healing over time spells, but they're not nearly as effective. Even though they're not really... Whoa. Jesus, Torrent. Just go straight for a change. Jeez. They do have sleep spells. And sleep is a thing for druids. So that's really all that build would have going for it. So that's not really much there. And warlocks, I never really liked warlocks. It was the one class I never played. Well, actually, I did play it, but I was not really invested in it. I played it off and on. In the end, I just gave up on it. It's like, I mean, what's a warlock really? You're either playing a spellcasty hunter or a fire-based mage, right? The only real difference is affliction. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, let's go. And affliction warlocks have all the dot spells. That makes it more interesting. But again, there are no real dot spells in Elden Ring. So I just don't think there's enough there to work with. I know they have some scary fate, like spells that have like fire spells with skulls on them, which would work for a warlock, but that'd be like one spell. So, no, I feel like actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, when I was looking at Halloween builds, I was looking at the usual like Freddy Krueger, Jason, the Halloween slashers, and everyone and their mother has done them. So I decided not to do it myself. But one guy did an interesting variant of Freddy Krueger. He didn't just give him claws and a hat and call it a day. He tried to recreate some of his abilities from the movies. Because Freddy Krueger did some weird dream magic crap. And one of the things he did was give him like, what was it called? Bleeding flame, fire flame, whatever. The flame when the fire flame slash spell. Right? So stuff like that. That would actually work for a World of Warcraft Warlock. If I had that spell where I slash, it'd be a bit of a weird custom build, where I wouldn't be doing any one specialization. It'd be more like I'm just taking certain key features from every specialization. I don't know, I'll have to think about that one some more. But if anyone has any ways to make a build work, then you let me know, and I will consider it. But as it stands right now, warlocks and druids, I don't think I can possibly do in Elden Ring. I mean, even actually, a lot of these World of Warcraft classes, like, some of them worked out really well. The mages are pretty simple. All I have to do is get certain key spells, but some of them, like Hunter or even Death Knight, it was really tricky because they have so many different abilities I couldn't do. And I just have to, like, move on without them. Don't worry, I still have plenty of other builds. Actually, I was also thinking of like a Final Fantasy Priest. But then I realized, the World of Warcraft Priest and the Final Fantasy Priest, their abilities kind of overlap. And I don't mean in terms of just healing, right? So, really, the only major difference between Priest that the World of Warcraft Priest doesn't have is Holy. And there is something like a holy spell in Elden Ring, and now holy is always just a big blast of holy magic, right? And we definitely know that's in Elden Ring. So maybe I'll make the World of Warcraft priest, but I'll allow the build to use that spell and just say, and with a mix of Final Fantasy priest thrown in, I don't know, something like that. But actual Final Fantasy priest is not really viable because, well, they're viable, but they got a lot of spells, very different. Whereas World of Warcraft classes, they may have a lot of spells, but they always fall into two very specific three classifications, I should say. They have their straight core offensive spells, they have their support spells that are always very themed, and they have their practical spells, which are usually very simple. Final Fantasy priests and mages, they just have a little bit of everything. And not just like a one spell, they have like all the different elements. Yes, I know World of Warcraft mages did too, but if you didn't specialize in it, you didn't have that much. Final Fantasy, you just level up, you'll get so many spells. So I'd have to account for all the healing spells, all the offensive spells, even if there are like a couple. All the support spells, which is very viable, but I'm having trouble managing just 3 spells, let alone all the spells the Final Fantasy mage will have, so I don't know if that can work. Maybe some of the other classes, honestly, I haven't really thought about the Final Fantasy classes too much. But they have some very... They're so based around tactical elements, like in the turn-based elements, I wouldn't know how you could replicate a lot of those turn-based elements in Elden Ring. Now, if we're talking about FF14, that's a different story, but I haven't played FF14, so I don't know. And I know some of the FF14 variants on a lot of this... I just realized I'm standing outside the Godskin Duo. This will be shit. This is going to be a colossal pain. Okay. Huh. Oh, right. I don't think I was actually even able to beat them with the arcane mage. I had to get help. Well, I just freeze one, but I don't... There ain't actual freeze spells in Elden Ring. I guess I'm just going to have to... Alright, I'll just give it a shot. So yeah, no, Final Fantasy 14 classes, I know a lot of them change up. How a lot of the classes work, they're actually quite different from how their classical function is, but... Ow. Right, I should have buffed first. But because of those changes, in a lot of ways, I don't know how a lot of the spell... Oh, I shouldn't have cast that. Because of those changes, I really don't know how a lot of those classes play now. Like, the Final Fantasy 14 versions are very different from the classic versions. Anyway, I can't really talk anymore, so I should focus. Oh, shit. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get spammy here. I don't have a choice. These guys are just really... They're a real pain in the ass up close and from afar. So there's no real choice on the matter. Aha, you got frosted. Fine, stand there and cast your spell. Well, Frost was always good for managing mobile enemies. Ah, it ate it. See that? His little shadow ball got eaten up by Ronnie's moon there. That's right. You buff. You do your phase 2 thing. Good boy. Ow. Come on, throw your little fireball. It won't go through my little ice ball. Oh, that one didn't. Oh! Oh no, wait, it didn't one-shot him up. It didn't, like, blow up all his HP, it just reached the end of the bar. Okay, that was fun. That was quick and easy. Yay, good. Nice to have some quick and easy ones. I gotta find a way to get more of these spells mixed in. But like I said, switching between 3 different daggers, each with their own spell, and a spear, because I don't have a choice. If I want to get Ice Lance in, I have to use the spear. But this is the only thing I can equip it on. I know it's not Ice Lance, it's well, actually it's Ice Spear, what can I say? It's pretty much the same thing. It's also pretty pokey. Oop, don't screw around, don't screw around. Don't screw around. I was screwing around. That's why you don't screw around, kids. Okay, that is why a mage should not get into melee combat. Even though technically this spear does about 500 damage per poke, which is not insignificant, and can frost proc. But I am still weak as... Where is those souls? Where the heck are those things going? Crap, now I gotta screw around again to find the stupid... Oh, there they are. Okay, good. I was working on a way... So I was thinking about Tonberry. Because with Tonberry, a key part of Tonberry is their epic, like what the hell, kill power. Because that's their thing. They kill you. Now, they do have a lot of extra spells. They always have like some sort of high-level, really powerful spell of some kind, but they're not consistent across all the Final Fantasies of what spells they cast. Otherwise, it'd be pretty easy to set up a spell setup for Tonberry. Like, oh, well, I'll just have the most powerful spells in the game. I think they even have Meteor. Unfortunately, they don't always have Meteor, so I can't use the Meteor spell. I think there's only like maybe one game, and then of course there's different Tonberries. I don't know. I'm just thinking of a few because I haven't fought every single one. But the only key thing is they can kill you instantly with the knife, right? And they do have the little rancor shot-like thing. They shoot little balls of mist from their lantern or something, which is actually a thing in Elden Ring, so I got to do that. How he's going to look is actually going to probably end up looking different from what I planned, but it'll still work. So what I was thinking was, since there is no such... I mean, unless I was trying to do a one-punch man build, which I'm not, which I don't think you can do with a knife anyway, I was thinking... Oh, crap. I'm not screwing around, they're just hitting me. I was thinking, well, I can't do a one-punch, one-kill shot thing with a knife, a chef's knife, but I can, like, load it up with bleed and frost, and the two of those going off a whole bunch of times should be... Ooh, this could be tricky. It's not one-shot potential, but it could do something. You get those two things going off, I just gotta figure out a way to make sure I can get both going at once. I mean, the knife already has it built in, but it's only like 38. But it could... that should work, I think. And even if not, being bloody and going off blood procking all the time is plenty great. You know what? I'm just running through here, and I'm not really thinking. I'm on, like, autopilot. I'm supposed to be doing, like, other boss... Well, I should be thinking... I mean, I'm not sure. I might get stuck on Maliketh, so... Oops. Ooh. Yeah. That's what happens when you're not really focused. You're just sort of on autopilot. He hits you, and then this bolt goes off just as you're sitting there. Okay. That's why we don't... That's why we focus, folks. Oh, I'm all the way back here. Oh, this is a shitty run. Who was I playing? Which build was I playing when I got killed here like a whole bunch of times? What the hell? Okay, I am going to take some precautions. Mage armor! Because the Hawks have clearly gone to the practice range recently. Suddenly they're hitting me with everything. Or I could use Bloodhound Step. Yeah, that's right. I have Bloodhound Step. I gotta remember that. So yeah, as I was saying, I probably shouldn't think too much about fighting other bosses until I finish off with the ones that are here. You never know, it could take me all night, the rest of the night to beat them. And then again, I could probably just cut into those later boss fights, or the endgame fights. I can just do some of those. Frankly, none of the side bosses are all that great, but you know, if I go through too many bosses, I'll just make up for it tomorrow night, and maybe I can do I'll be set up to do Moog and all those bosses. So then I can do Estelle and not Renala. No way, I won't be able to do any damage to her. But if they're not like an end game boss, then it's not worth it, because I'll just blow through them like nothing. So. This is definitely way more powerful than... Well, I shouldn't say way more powerful than Arcane Mage. Yes, the Frostbite is definitely a real thing. but it's a real benefit. Okay, I am going to do Placidusax first, because I have a feeling he's going to be pretty easy. And those are, of course, famous last words, if you've ever heard them. But I do think he won't be too big a problem, because I can potentially... Well, okay, you know what? He was easier on Arcane Mage because of Spiral Shard, which absolutely destroyed him. So actually, maybe this won't work that great. But then I got Ice Storm, which was killer powerful. Or it was killer powerful on the Death Knight. Okay, let's see. We are going to want to start off with a Ronnie's Moon. And we are going to want to... Oop. And then when you get close, probably just spam Ice Storm. And I'm going to have to really time this perfectly here, so I can get this off. And it hit me anyway. And it hit me anyway. Pooh. You know, this might be harder than I was expecting it to be. Yeah, we definitely not crazy spiral shard damage. This is not. Wait, where are all my potions going? Oh crap! I didn't rest the stupid. Yeah, I didn't rest the stupid brace again. You know, I'm just gonna run over to Maliketh. I'm curious to see how Maliketh's gonna go more than anything. I have a feeling he's gonna be much harder because now the damage is more normal, not like spiral shard ridiculous levels of damage. But first, we got an annoying knight to deal with. Okay. Yes, we gotta fix this. So if you just stand there and let me watch you cast that spell for a minute, which you did. Cool. And you're half dead before you even move. And likewise. Oh shit, I survived. And I can't even move. Well, tit for tat, apparently. Tit for tat. Low poise sucks. And I'm rapidly approaching the moment when I might have to summon Andrea again. Or maybe I'll use someone else. Actually, no, I don't think he's even leveled up, so I'd have to use someone else. So we start with, although you normally use Orb of Frost in the World of Warcraft against crowds of enemies, because it frees them all rapidly. You wouldn't be about it wouldn't be about doing damage. It's more about freezing them. So that you can then spam Ice Lance. Crap. So he doesn't just spam the fireball when you're using potions, he also spams it when you're casting spells. Woohoo, that was close, okay. Unfortunately, Ice Spear is not an equivalent to Icy Lance because it's an instant spell. Like, very instant. Oh, come on, I evaded that. Come on, just go away. Let us be done with it. Why is that not landing or not evading? Come on, just get out of the way. We don't. No one wants to see you. Came from Maliketh. No one cares about you. Okay, now Bouncy Boy. The bouncy dog. This shouldn't be too bad, because now I got spells with actual tracking. And him being a bouncy boy won't make that big a difference. And again, I'm going to be bouncing around like crazy myself. So I'm not even going to have a chance to use anything else besides Blink or Bloodhound Steps. So I got to think entirely in terms of just spamming the tracking spells. What else can I do? With him, there's really nothing else. Now, I know a lot of people prefer to use their best buffs in the second phase, but honestly, I find it better to just absolutely hammer him in the first phase and just try and get him down as quickly as possible, so I can have all the healing spells, or all the flasks necessary for the second phase. Because in the second phase, you don't have time to use... What the hell? Okay. Speaking of no time to use, I don't know. I was spamming the dodge button, and it just didn't work. Ooh, we're getting to that point much earlier than usual. Okay, wait, do I still have... Nope, I got that stuff. Yes, I know, I take more damage with all this stuff equipped, but what can I say? That's a World of Warcraft mage for you. The bosses just absolutely melt through mages like nothing. They just sneeze in their direction, they're dead. And unfortunately, I don't have the kind of defensive options I would in World of Warcraft. I can't make myself go invisible. I can't put myself in an invincible block of ice. So none of that. Again? What the hell? Okay, so the only time I can get Bronny's moon off is in that first time you fight him when he sits there for a minute. Here, it's like I get hit once. We're getting to that point again. That night, and I get hit once and I just flat out can't move, and that's just all to it. It's no longer, well, you take some damage, or you take a lot of damage, but, you know, at least you're alive. No, it's like, no, you're dead. Even though you're not actually dead yet, you will be dead, because, you know, you can't move. Yeah, low posture, low poise is a real pain in the butt. Damn it! Oh. Okay, this is getting bullshitty. I get hit. He's spamming that. I mean, he's smart. He's being smart tonight. What's with all the bosses being smart tonight? Okay, maybe not all of them. They're definitely not all smart. The Godskin Duo were definitely dumb tonight. But he's being crazy smart. Just gets me into a corner and then just starts spamming that swiping slash attack just over and over again. Hits me even just one of them, I'm screwed. Okay, this is well, I guess I gotta forget Ronnie's Dark Moon. Because there's no way I can get that off. I get a few of these in. Hopefully. Oh, now he just stands there. Haha, my orb was able to go around the pillar. Horrible. Look at those things. Oh, they're dead people. Okay, I can't screw around here. I'm just gonna cast or just spam these. I know it's not the most finessey thing to do, but he's extremely high damage and I'm extremely squishy. Yeah, okay. He's actually even too fast for the homing projectiles. He might not be too fast for Cone of Cold and Icicles, but I need that Bloodhound. Well, I don't really need Bloodhound Step, but you know, mages can't actually dodge. So I need it. It's the closest thing I can do that's at least within reason or within the rule set of using World of Warcraft Mage, because I can use Blink, even if I am spamming it, but still. Oh hell, it's not like I'm perfectly by the rules anyway. Oh crap. Oh right, good. Well, that was just sheer luck. And that was not, that was just stupid. So cheap I can go right through walls like that. I mean, what's new, really, for Elden Ring, but still. Actually, for Dark Souls in general. I pressed... Oh, come on. I mean, I was literally going into the dodge animation just as he went through. Yeah, it's... See, this happens a lot when I do these builds, where you try and fight, like, actual World of Warcraft rules. Some of these bosses are impossible to beat. So... I'm just gonna have to do this. I am just gonna have to do this by Elden Ring standards now. Because World of Warcraft stand back cast spells is not gonna work against Maliketh. Unless you have a friend. But mages don't have friends, so... Other than an elemental summoning thing, which I do not have, so it's just not an option. What are my options? Okay, well, I'm not going to assume... The Mimic Tier would be kind of worthless. And against the rules, really. It just... Well, I mean, Latana would be kind of okay, but I need someone who can tank. Okay, well, we're not there yet, so I'm not going to spend more time on it. Alright, I'm supposed to be fighting this Elden Ring style now. There's mostly just more dodging. Where are you? Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. Okay, this has gotten weird. This is a risk. Wow, risk paid off. But you know what? That was actually kind of lucky. Oh shit, can I still fight Placid? Yeah, you'll still be there. That was actually kind of lucky. He started just kind of walking around instead of like at the end there. He just sort of just walked slowly towards me. That's why I felt like I could cast Ronnie's Dark Moon. So Orb of Frost. So yeah, that was just lucky, plain old luck. I think Placidusax will be much harder. Lendo, Ashen Capital. More int that I don't really need, but what can I say? That's how we do it. That's how we roll. Let's go Let's go back and finish off the dragon. Where are you, dragon? There you are. Wait, that's not right. Or is it? No, that should be right. Stupid elevator, wasn't up. You know, let's go for more power this time. Let's bring in, I mean, this is late game enough for me to have some more raid quality gear, I think. I mean, like I said, Lane-Dole is almost like Stratholme, like original Stratholme when it was apparently a raid. So, that's fair. Okay, let's get back with the lightning resistance. That's a real problem. And I gotta do a fresh recording. There we go. And I guess Capital Ash, if you think about it, that would almost be like another raid in itself. By World of Warcraft rules. Maybe I can cast this now. He hasn't gone into like angry dragon mode yet. I was pounding the button, but whatever. Right, okay. Slower cast speeds now. Okay, what was that? Oh shit. Maybe the wider area will do more damage? Nope, not really. Why can't I target him? Okay, well... Where are you? There you are. Not getting spear again? Okay. So that's definitely more annoying. Not without it's definitely not a very high, not like Spiral Shard, what it was doing. Oh crap, he's far away. But I can do this from far away. Oh shit. This was not a good idea doing that. Kind of gets me off the ground, so that might help me with this. To avoid that spell, or the fire. Oh crap, now we're in this phase. Where are you? Son of a... You little bugger. Okay, well I wasn't really expecting him, well I actually said, I figured he'd be easier because he got a big body and the spells are hitting, but they are not hitting very hard against him. I still haven't decided yet. Well, actually, no, now I'm curious. I know how resetting the frostbite works, and I haven't decided yet if it's necessarily against the rules or not of this build, because, I mean, the frost mage can't do it, so why should I? But now I'm curious to see if it would really be all that effective to keep resetting it like that. Because don't forget, they also take a damage bonus when they're frostbitten. So it's not like... So it's not like there's no benefit just letting them stay frostbitten like that. Okay, I shouldn't have just stood there casting a spell just then. Who is that? Now, I'm not sure if he's actually frosted just now, but... Oh, that stupid potion. There you go. And he's off again. Damn it. Well, I got that spell off in time, or that buff off in time. Okay, so apparently Bloodhound's step doesn't work on those lasers. You can do it, but it won't go through it. Oh, stop flying off! I'm at the point now where I don't really want to do this again. So if this doesn't go bad, then I'm just gonna... Oh, come on. Just finish it off. Finish it off. I didn't really have room to... Well, okay. I had room to use the spells, but trying to switch between 3 different Ashes of War is tricky. Okay, so I was able to save 15 minutes by doing setting all those graces up. So let's see if we can get some of the endgame, well, the regular endgame bosses in before we call it a night. I really doubt I can do Radagon, but... And that'll give us plenty of extra time to fit in some bonus bosses for tomorrow. Okay, I just need, like... What? Just 10 grand or so? That should do it. Okay, more int than I need, but... Now we are going to... Oh, shit. Oh, no, wait. Okay, whew. Oh, phew. I think you could still get into the Capital Ash even if you don't get this grace, but phew. I just really didn't want to have to run there. So this is normally where I call it for the night, but we are 15 minutes early. And technically I do go a little after 2 sometimes, depending on how well a run is going, so might be able to get a few more in here. But Godfrey is... Well, he was a major pain in my butt last time I did this with Arcane Mage, so I don't think this will be any better with Frost, because it's not like he's going to get slowed down. This is not World of Warcraft. Actually, even World of Warcraft, it won't make a difference. Bosses don't get slowed down by Frost attacks, by Frost spells. So it doesn't really make a difference, but we will see. These spells are actually a lot faster than all those crystalline spells were. So I didn't have to... Actually, no, arcane missiles, or the variant of arcane missiles I was using, was... It would usually go off. You just cast it once and then it would go off. That's eventually what I had to do to beat Godfrey. Okay, once again, like last time, I am not going to just sneak up behind... What's his name? Gideon? Ofnir. I'm not going to just sneak up behind him this time. I am going to fight him honestly. Good old-fashioned mage match.
I knew you'd come to stand before the elder.
So no cheaping, just a straight fight. I mean, plus I don't think I could really do anything like that anyway.
I commend your spirit, but alas, none shall take the throne.
It went fine last time.
Maliketh high hopes for us that we continue to strive.
Are you still talking? Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you're done. You're barred here. Yeah, you're out. Oh shit, he's doing the same thing I'm doing. Crap, 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 crap.
You fought well until now.
Okay. That got messed up. How did that even hit me? Hey, he's a lot more complicated to fight in a straight fight. They were like, "Oh, he's so easy." I'm like, "Well, yeah, if you stab him from in the back as you're entering the room, sure." But in a straight, like, blow by blow spellcasting duel, he's actually, well, not exactly a pushover. Oh, it might help if I have my cast speed in here. Yep, that would have worked. But now he's going to be casting right from the beginning. So that's why you really want to beat him that first time. Oh, stupid. Well, I kind of figured this would happen. Come on, trigger it, trigger it, trigger it, trigger it. No, he's... Damn it. When they talk for a long time like that. Ugh. God damn it. Okay, well, you're beat, so, and I don't feel like spending any more time on you, of all people, so... If he's not counted as beaten, then... Nope. We are not going to waste any more time on you. You were beat, so... It doesn't matter if the game decided it disagrees. I don't care. He was beat. So... We're going to summon help. Because he wins on a technicality rather than Crampola. We just need him out of the way now. It doesn't matter, right? Oh crap, that's not... Wow, he's a pincushion. Ah, he hit a wall. You know what? Shouldn't laugh. This is not a fight that even should still be going, so there's no reason to comment on it any more than that. Let's just move on. No one wants to see him anyway. More faith, more int that we don't really need. So bonus boss, well, okay, he's barely, oh, he counted as a boss just then because I actually fought him like one, so we'll count him as a bonus boss. And bonus boss number 2, I really don't think this is going to go well. Because it didn't go well when I played with my arcane mage, so yeah. Whew. Okay then, so what's gonna happen here? Well, Lieutenant's actually kind of I don't know, she's not useless, but I'd rather have an actual... Okay, well, we'll give it a shot. Just as is, but I very strongly think I'm gonna need to party up, because that's how World of Warcraft works. You gotta party up with your friends for the harder challenges. I don't think I can even get off any other spell than this. Oh. Damn, I could have gotten that off. Oh, wait, why are you still casting it? He interrupted it. That was weird. The spell was interrupted. Okay, that was weird. I'm up and... whatever. That was a weird risk anyway. But that was actually going way better than I was expecting, so... This might... And the next time, he's going to start from further away, so... This might actually work. But I really wish I could use more of my spells, but there's just no way to switch to other weapons, other Ashes of War. There's just... He just doesn't give me a time to do anything else. Huh. Huh. I guess when you're not trying to cast a really slow casting spell at a bad time, and you know what, that was more luck than anything. He got 3 moves in a row where he was doing his stomping moves, and you know he just stands there, and all I have to do is just wait for the spell to finish, or whatever he's doing to finish, then I can get a cast in, and then wait for him to do it again, you know, just Bloodhound step through it, or blink through it. So yeah, maybe you get him to stand there in one spot for a long period of time like that, you can just spam him to death. Okay, that was a very unexpected result. I actually still have time left. Wow, what do you know? Okay, let's just see how Radagon goes. And again, I don't care to beat the Elden Beast. I don't enjoy the Elden Beast fight, so if I beat Radagon but don't beat the Elden Beast, I don't care. I consider him beat. Because the Elden Beast fight has a bad habit of taking a long, long time. So I'm not gonna... And I actually have quite a bit of a headache coming on. Well, that actually came on a while ago, but... Let's just see how this goes. He's not as bouncy as... Actually, he can be pretty bouncy. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'll probably just be spamming spells again. Ow. I know I'm using the fire pot thing again, but I'm really curious to see what will happen. If this whole reset frostbite thing can be... If you can actually really use it, like you can actually reset it as a viable tactic. I tried to use it on Placidusax, but I couldn't tell if he was frosted or not. Ooh, I forgot to put on Holy Resistance. Damn, I could have got a spell off just then. Huh. Okay, that was really just more good dodging than anything else. I mean, I should be using all the different spells, but, you know, again, I'm at the point where actually fighting like a World of Warcraft mage is not a smart idea. So, but instead of, like, actually trying to do all that, I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna fight like I normally would. Because I keep thinking this is not gonna go well. Right? And then it does. Okay, now for some Holy Resistance, even though I don't think this will go well. What? Yeah, I couldn't even... Okay, whatever. So, I don't care to fight him again. I just don't enjoy the amount of time. Like, there's been so many times where I'm like, oh, I beat Radagon quickly. Yeah, okay, we'll do Elden Beast. And then it's like, then I'll get beat by Radagon. Next thing you know, an hour in the stream has gone by. So... as far as I'm concerned, Radagon's beaten. I don't care for Elden Beast. I just don't enjoy him. So in one night, I actually managed to go through all the bosses, and half the bosses I usually go through in my second night. So that's some good time. Except Elden Beast, but you know I never care to beat Elden Beast anyway. So, wow, yeah. So on one hand, even though... Yeah, I'm really not sure what to say here. I guess I've just gotten better at focusing... You know, sometimes it's focusing on more dodging, and then I beat them quicker that way, but I wasn't using all the spells. And then when I was focusing on using all the different spells, then it was harder just because I have to keep switching things. Or then sometimes you get a boss that just stands there. Maybe I just got more experience as a mage from the last run, and I'm like, yeah, forget it. I'm not going to try and bounce around with using spells. You're just going to stand there. I'm just going to spam, you know, Frostbolt. Like this. Like, why go through all the other spells? If you're just going to stand there, I'll just keep casting that over and over again. So, well, in Radagon's case, though, I was just flat out evading him, like properly for a change, more than anything else. But yeah, I could try and find some other bosses to fight, but we'd be talking about Rickard. I'd have to run all the way there. That could take like 10-15 minutes. Even just getting to Moog and Millennium and all, and that's going to be like 10-20 minutes just to get to them. I don't think there's anything else left to do, really, except try and fight Elden Beast again, but I really don't want to. Well, okay, if I do Elden Beast again, I'll do it tomorrow night. I won't do it tonight, because I really do have a headache. And you know what? I think we'll just have to call. I mean, technically, this is officially end of stream. And you already got a couple bonus bosses. Yeah, no, this is great. I think this is a good run. This will be extra bosses you can do for tomorrow night, and of course, for the third night, there'll be plenty of extra bosses to do. So yeah, I think this is a good start to this build. At the very least, it looks the part of a Forsaken Frost Mage. I got some of the spells in there. Yeah, this has been pretty fun. The Frostbite isn't going off. You know, it probably is going off often. I just haven't noticed. But anyway, yeah, no, this has been fun. I was looking forward to this one. I figured this would be more fun than the other mage builds. I won't say it's necessarily more powerful than Arcane was. I actually figured this would be more powerful, but Shard Spiral, man. Oh, man, Shard Spiral got some moments. Man, we got some fun moments out of Shard Spiral. But anyway, I think that's enough. I'm going to call it. This is technically on time for end of stream. I hope you enjoyed it. You know all the stuff about liking and subscribing and engaging. You know how all that works. I hope you all come back tomorrow night and the third night when we do the rest of the build. And, of course, next weekend when we do Pyrodancer. And the weekend after that when we do Fire Mage. This was fun. Good night, guys. Hope you had fun.